we not only have an obligation to ensure you're safe when you pick up the car and drive that car.
Sure.
We also have an obligation to you to protect your investment. That little piece of black right there
Yeah.
could land up costing somebody hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, because if that piece was replaced, what else was replaced?
Yep.
And now the diminished value keeps adding on.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the airing of Grievances. I'm Eric Raymer. That's Robert Grieve, and we are thankful that you are here. As always, if you are one of the first-time viewers of our channel, we're super thankful. Do us a favor. Click the subscribe button, and don't forget the notify bell. That will tell YouTube that this is important to you, and will notify you every time we go with a new premiere. And then secondarily, if you haven't yet, gosh, if you see something you like, we'd love it if you give us a big thumbs up. That's an important thing. And you have good advice about the thumbs up.
Yeah. Don't be delinquent.
Just do it now.
Yeah, just go ahead and do it.
All right. Rob, happy Saturday to you.
To you, sir.
Thank you.
My dear friends.
Always good to see you.
Cheers.
All right. So today we have a story about doing the right thing. And let's frame it this way. We here at Nylons have a tagline. We created it together years and years ago, and it's, if it's not perfect,
It's not leaving.
right? And that's kind of our commitment to our guests. Our guests are like family to us. They are guests in our establishment, but they are family always. And there came a topic of, does it really matter? And we're going to tell that story, build the case, and I'll just give you a little cheater's notes, but don't quit on us yet. It really matters. Okay? So let's hear what you got.
So, the devil's always in the details.
Yes.
And, the details in fixing these cars are a lot of little things.
Absolutely.
And, when we're repairing vehicles, and when anybody's repairing vehicles, we not only have an obligation to ensure you're safe when you pick up the car and drive that car.
Sure.
We also have an obligation to you to protect your investment and make it so it is undetectable that it's been repaired. If you can tell that the car's been picked up from Nylons, I failed, because you're not supposed to be able to tell. And that goes to the theory we call pre-loss condition, or the condition just prior to the loss.
Okay.
Talking to some insurance companies, they don't really think these details are very, very important. And I wanted to just take a minute and show and ask your opinion. I mean, you and I were talking to our painter yesterday that came from Florida.
Yeah.
High production shop,
Yep.
moving a lot of cars through the system.
Right.
Never, ever once
In 30 years.
in 30 years did he do what we do here.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience.
Well, and it doesn't take very much to discover. I mean, even in the comment section of our own videos, there are people who don't go to the degree of caring for the end result that Nylons and you personally do.
Pre-loss condition is you can't tell,
Right.
and all the safety functions are working as designed.
Yes.
And we've made sure of that and done the necessary calibrations and pre-scanning and post-scanning.
Right.
I just came across a car that guest had fixed someplace else. They did a pre and a post-scan, but in the post-scan, it said the steering sensor is off 8 degrees.
8 degrees.
Yeah, so the steering angle sensor it's supposed to be 0.
Right.
So they did the pre and the post scan, but I don't know who did it, because they obviously weren't paying attention to what it was trying to tell you.
So let me see. I'm a layman here.
Yeah.
Let me see if I understand correctly. If the steering zero point is
0
off
point
by
calibration.
8 degrees, does that mean you have to turn the car a certain angle to drive straight?
Well, it could. It's indicative of there's still a problem with the suspension.
Yeah.
When you get to the 8 degrees,
I think you should do a movie. Call it 8 Degrees of Gray.
yeah, or separation or something.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, he's concerned with a drivability problem. So, we got to pay attention to these things, and
Absolutely.
we need to give the car back to the guest operating as designed.
Agreed.
So
Now, in today's story, though,
yeah,
it's not so much an operations concern.
no, it's an aesthetics.
Well, what could possibly matter so much?
And we've talked about, paint won't kill you. And
If you haven't seen that video,
yeah, but sometimes it's about the value of the asset, and there's a natural depreciation in your vehicle once it's been repaired, even if it's repaired perfectly. If that gets reported to Carfax, you just lost $5,000 plus.
okay,
But let's say it didn't get reported to Carfax, you just paid for it on your own, but you land up in the situation that we're going to describe, and you bring it in to trade it in, and the sales manager opens up the hood and says, "Tell me about the accident you had.
I didn't mention any accident.
How bad was it? Do you have any paperwork for it?" And because look, dealers are looking for used vehicles to sell.
Sure.
So they want to take your trade in, and they want to make it a certified pre-owned if you're taking it to a dealer. Well, if the car's been repaired before, there are certain reasons they can't do that,
Right.
which means they lose out on that money of being able to make it a certified pre-owned.
Yep.
Which, by the way, that money came from you, because they're going to give you that much less
Right.
for your vehicle,
Right.
because either the shop didn't advocate for you and do it properly, or the insurance company didn't want to pay, and
Or a combination of both.
yeah, all of that stuff. So when you take it to a shop, we want to look at the details. So let's just talk about, I was talking to this adjuster, and I showed him, while we were looking at the repairs, I said, "Do me a favor, take a look at the backside of the fender and tell me what color it is." He says, "Oh, well, it's kind of E-coat green with some with the color of the car sprayed over top of it."
Yep.
Okay. What color does a new fender come in? He goes, E-coat black. I said, "So then you would agree with me, in order to put it to pre-loss condition, we have to paint the backside of that fender and refinish it."
Sure.
Sometimes we call it painting, sometimes it's corrosion protection. There's lots of different ways to go about it.
Yep.
Anyway, he disagreed and said the insurance company doesn't find value in that, and it's here's the worst part of it. Like our painter, he says the industry does not do that, so it's not industry standard, and the insurance company does not owe for it.
If you're just tuning in, let me just say, like our painter, as we described a little while ago, 30 years ago, working in a different industry, same industry, different state.
Yeah. He just never came across what we're doing.
Our painter does it right this time.
No, we do it right every time.
There you go.
But it was something that we had to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, and so let's take a look at. Right now we have the hood open.
Okay.
Okay, you can see the headlight, and
Yep.
this is the radiator support in the front.
Yeah.
And you can see the fender towards the back there.
Right where that arrow is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're going to look inside there.
Okay.
Okay. And you can see that it is E-coat
Yep.
green
Yep.
with the color of the car spritzed on it.
Yeah, that big circle in the middle is just simply
That's
our
just
flashlight.
a flashlight,
Yeah.
so you could see.
Yep.
But for sure, what it isn't is black.
That's correct.
So now, if you were to go with the advice of this insurance company,
Yep.
or take it to one of the shops that he's talking about that doesn't care about painting the inside of the fender, And the other fender that we're putting on, we leave it black. One side will be black, the other side is going to be factory. And a used car person, or even a really good consumer like yourself now,
Right.
is going to say, hey, wait a second, this car's been fixed.
I think Sesame Street taught us something about this. One of these is not like the other.
Yeah, one of these is not like the other.
Yeah.
So, just to give you an example, here are the two fenders sitting next to each other. The one in the back is the fender that's getting replaced, and you can see clearly, and we write on there, that it's got to be done.
Yep.
And this fender in the front is the brand new fender from the factory, and it's black.
Right.
Well, they're not the same in appearance
Right.
because one's painted and one's not. If you put this fender that's not painted on the car, you've diminished the value of that vehicle even more than the intrinsic diminished value because you had an accident.
Yeah.
Now you made it detectable
Yep.
because anybody can take a flashlight and go on either side and see that the fender has been replaced.
Yep.
Now the question is, was it a factory fender? Was it an aftermarket fender? What else was replaced? And every time another question comes up, you lose more value
More
and
money comes off the top.
you lose more value and lose value in the vehicle.
Wow.
So again, it's details. It's
Yeah.
the little details that make a big difference.
And
we're responsible for restoring your value the best we can, not taking shortcuts.
that bears to be repeated. We're responsible. The shop is responsible.
To protect your investment.
Wow. Some shops need to hear this.
Yeah. So let's go back to the hood is open,
Yeah.
and you've got a new arrow showing some black spray paint on the radiator support.
Yeah, I see that.
So you can see the radiator support is painted very much like the backside of the fender,
Right?
but you're never going to see that because there's a plastic big sight shield that goes on top of that.
That's a word I've never heard before, and I just got educated before we turned on the camera here. Sight shield.
Sight shield. All it is to cover up all this stuff so you don't see it.
I'm going to put a picture right here of what your car should look like with a sight shield installed.
But before we do, I want to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this black paint.
Right?
Okay? It's just a small area of black paint. What could the purpose be? And why is it so important, if I was replacing that, to put that black paint back there? Well, once we put the sight shield on it, that hood cushion that sticks through
Yep.
the sight shield, because it's black behind there, you don't really see it.
Right.
And it's Lexus being, over conscientious about value of the vehicle and not taking your eye and putting attention, because if that wasn't black, you would see the tan color
Yeah.
with a hood stopper poking through it.
Right.
Lexus doesn't want that. They're very detailed. They want it black so that when you put the sight shield on it, you can't see it.
Sure.
So consumers, if you look at this car, and let's just say that piece was replaced but they didn't put the black on it, you'll see one side is black and you can't see the hood stopper, and the other side you can clearly see the hood stopper. Again, you're going to ask some questions. Why is this way?
Right.
Why? And that little piece of black right there
Yeah.
could land up costing somebody hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, because if that piece was replaced, what else was replaced?
Yep.
And now the diminished value keeps adding on.
So if your insurance company doesn't want to pay for such aesthetics,
You'll end up paying.
you're going to end up paying not just what you paid the insurance, but also in the end for the trade-in.
Yeah, and you don't get a discount on your deductible because they don't want to pay to put the black there. So sometimes we want the black there, and other times, like the fender, we don't want the black there. We want it to be the same as the other side so that nobody can clearly see the vehicle has been damaged, because that adds diminished value on top of diminished value.
This makes so much sense to me, and I learned a new word, and hope maybe you did too.
Sight shield.
But wow, what
It's these details, and now if you're looking at a car, if you're seeing the color of the car through there, now some manufacturers don't go to that detail. This is a Lexus, but most Toyotas are like that as
Yeah.
well. You know, they're very finicky about these little tiny, nuances, if you will. So
Gotcha.
there you have it,
Well,
folks.
I'm grateful that you have educated me, and we are educating you. If you
been fun.
appreciate what we're doing, please go ahead, hit that thumbs up button. That's the least that we could ask, and it's free, it's easy, and it helps us. And Rob, while this is actually airing, you're going to be in Texas.
Yes, I'll be in Texas, and we'll be talking. I'm doing a presentation on post-repair inspections.
What is the name of that program you're doing? The presentation? Oh, that's right. The Devil's in the
Devil's in the
Details.
details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't just stuff that we make up for you here on a Saturday morning, folks. This is what he eats, sleeps, breathes, and drinks. And I'm telling you, if doing the right thing matters, you'll find it done here, right here at Nyland's Collision Center.
Yeah, if a car's been fixed, it's painfully obvious to me
Yeah.
under
Most
many
conditions.
circumstances. Sometimes just driving by it, it's a curse. That car was fixed.
Yeah, you don't want to be able to visually spot a two-tone unintentional paint job on the outside, and the point of this story is you don't want to see that on the inside as well.
Yeah, we spend as much time on the inside on stuff that you'd never even notice or need to see
Yeah.
that as we do on the outside, just to retain that value for you.
There's the right way, and there's the way that a lot of other people do it.
So,
So, all right, my
all
friend.
right, brother.
Happy Saturday to
Happy
you.
Saturday, dear friends. Happy Saturday to you. Have an amazing week.